Hi, find the root cause of the problem first, and your problem is 90% solved. In case you're joining me for the first time, my name is Tim Ada, and I am your host for today. For many years, I was actually unhappy, and for those many years, I kept having what you might call chronic grief. I was constantly depressed, and in finding solution, I tried to share my thoughts with people I could really talk to. Most of them, after listening to my various deals, like talking about the death of my mom at a premature age, the death of my wife and my unborn child, uh, that came like a storm, losing monies, failing woefully in business, and quitting my job prematurely, and so much more. They just go straight to say this. Oh, team, I think I know the root cause of your depression or your problem. And their suggestions are usually like the very common one we hear every day. They say, team, life is just that way. Try to forget it and let it go. And some would say, move on. Once you can do these things, you will be happy again. I must say, these are perfect suggestions. But listen to me. I don't want to say they're wrong, but I am saying they're totally wrong. I remember discussing with a woman who had just been introduced to me for prayers and some spiritual guidance. And the first thing she told me was shocking. She said, Tim, you are just like a football floating in water. Wow, that's you not something not sinking. And she went on to say, you get pressed in to sink, but your head comes out and it's always just dangling above the waters. Now, to literally put that straight, she said, you would have long been gone dead because you have a lot of enemies. But the reason why you're still alive is because you have some unfinished projects in life, just like every one of us. Premature death is not meant for us. That was indeed consoling, but it wasn't just the actual reason I was unhappy. Now, in case you're saying it hasn't really stopped with you yet, or all I've been saying hasn't stopped with you, and that I haven't actually probably seen anything yet, let me tell you a little bit of my story that kept letting people say these things to me. First, I must say, mom. Everyone loves their mom. I love my mom so, so much, like every one of us. And lost her at a tender age to the cold hands of death. Years later, I got my banking job and I was so excited and thought I should get married in time. So, in excitement, I found this beautiful woman. We got married traditionally, did our court wedding, and as we're expecting our baby, we went on to do the white wedding. Behold, like the sunset as they use it most times, I lost her and our unborn child a few weeks after our white wedding. I became unstable and decided to change environment. So a job opening came with another bank in a new location. So I took it. Soon after, I lost the job again. Lost my investments at the time, lost the funds I had in some other areas. So I got another job and thought I would be happy again, this time in another location. But I'll tell you, deeper became the level of depression every day, every night. Soon enough, I had no choice but to quit that job so I could start my life all over again in a very quiet environment. So I got into a new business, lost all the funds again, lost the property I invested in, sold my house, lost all the funds again. And listen, the problems were just here and there. Of course, with all of this, it's enough to say this young man should be depressed. Actually, I was depressed. Now, I saw reasons genuine to be depressed. That's the truth. Those were actual reasons. to be depressed. And it was enough reasons for anyone to say, I need to try and forget the past and move on. That was enough when anybody listens. But I want you to listen to me here. These are all just symptoms of the root cause of my problem. The loss of my job, the loss of my mom, my wife, my unborn child, my monies, my properties, the premature resignation from my high paying job, just name it, were never the root cause of my depression. The truth is, my real depression or the grief in my life was simple. I wasn't living up to my full potential. Yes. And that's it. Most adults are unhappy today. A lot are hypertensive. A good number are deliberating within themselves whether to stay back in the country or leave. We see that every day. For a few thoughts, or rather for a few, the thoughts of suicide comes to mind. Some even go ahead to do it. You may not be experiencing worse situations like this. I want you to just go out and listen to how people are crying, even when they're called men, so you can understand the difficulty men and women are facing on a day-to-day basis. You find people who have lost their jobs for over a decade and they can't even go back to their villages. They can't pay the rents. They can't pay their school fees of their children. There are those who have consistently become drunkards and bar hustlers just to keep life going. Others wake up in the morning, get dressed, and leave the house, walking about town aimlessly and praying for a night or the night to fall just for them to go back home and rest for another day without hope. These are people with huge and massive potentials that can crush depression. But they are unhappy people. They are grieving. They are hypertensive. They no longer reason normal. And listen, there are also those who have all they want, like a good home to put their heads under, a beautiful car, lovely spouse and kids, and many more of those things you admire in life. Yet they are still unhappy. Think about it. So now if you must know this fact today, whether you're winning or losing, you stand a chance of being depressed. You stand a chance of being unhappy for the rest of your life. And the reason is simple. It is not because of the losses, those are symptoms. It is because your potential is greater than your achievements, or your potential is greater than your goals. You're unhappy because you have not reached your potential yet. Now, I want to come with a subtle way. There is a way out. It is either you develop yourself to be able to meet your potentials, or you forget and let life just drive you the way it wants. So let me state it clearly here today. Everyone has the potential to be great in anything they choose to follow. But unfortunately, one of our major problems is the ability to be self-disciplined in the actions necessary to bring this happiness we want. For example, talking about financial freedom, we all want to be financially free, or want to be wealthy, we want to have resources to take care of our immediate needs. But to be financially free, you must be willing to learn. You must be willing to read, explore ideas, take actions, and then put every needed actions into your day-to-day activities. So now the choice is yours to deal with. But if you think you want some support, then maybe I could help. Now the question is, am I qualified to help you? I may not totally be qualified, but I think I am if you could give me the time or chance to do so. But it has to start with you investing in yourself first. There are a few things I would like to introduce to you. First is to find a book on self-discipline and read about it. There are thousands of books out there. You just find one on self-discipline and read it. Or focus, read it. Then make sure you decide on the massive development of yourself. Invest even the little you have in yourself, no matter how small. Just keep going for knowledge. Read the books, attend seminars, watch videos that can help you, that can just change your life. Now get a mentor. Start with the little you can actually do, and over time grow on it. I'll leave you with this. Remember, no one will come to your house and change your life for good. I've listened to that, I've said that many times. You've got to consciously and intentionally do it yourself. So I'll stay here and say goodbye till I see you again. But don't forget, you have to be great because nothing else pays.